Today, we're going to answer the age-old question. Does size matter? So does size matter? The answer is absolutely yes, especially when it comes to airflow, air pressure, and it comes to air fittings. So I'm in between projects right now in the tiny garage, and I wanted to get caught up on some of the little things I needed to get done, and that includes changing out my air fittings. So these two fittings, this is the one I'm currently running. This one is running a 3/16 hole, and this is the new one that I got from Milton. This is their high flow V-style connection, and this is running a 17/64 hole, and the size difference is huge. Check out this picture. You can see the difference in the size. So when we're looking at the differences in a high flow versus a regular connection, it's not necessarily about the pressure. It's about the flow of air that you can get through it. So think about breathing through a straw versus breathing through a garden hose. This is going to give us the ability with the high flow to be able to move more air than a regular standard fitting would be. What's that effect going to have? That's going to make my air tools run better. That's going to make my impacts hit harder, and it's going to make my cutoff wheels run smoother without bogging down. So when it comes to switching out the nipples on your air hose and your air tools, there's a couple things that you want to think about. So there are two different styles that you're going to need. One is going to be the male side, and the other one is going to be the female side. So the male side is what you're going to use for your air tools. The female side is what you're going to use for your air hoses. So make sure you're ordering the right ones. Check out Milton Industries. You can go through their whole catalog and see the differences in the products to make sure that you're getting the right one. When you're working on your airlines, you want to make sure that when you replace your fitting, that you seal up the threads between the fitting and the airline. And to do that, we're going to use some Teflon sealer. You can use tape too, and I like using that. I don't have any right now. So we're going to use Teflon sealer. When you're using the sealer, make sure that you let that set up a little bit. Don't just slap it on there and put air pressure to it right away. Let it seal up just a touch. So to do that, we're going to make sure we clean all the oil and grease and anything that's on there off. All set and ready to go. Now, not the most exciting demonstration I've ever done. I get it. I understand. But the importance of this is huge. And the difference that it's going to make with your tools and your air kit is going to be huge also. Now, you don't have to have a big old compressor like this to be able to benefit from having high flow fittings. When we're talking about high flow fittings, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to replace your connections. Now, it is highly recommended because the Milton high flow connections match perfectly with their female counterpart, the couplers. One of the things I'm going to point out to you on these couplers is the way they connect together. So even on this non-high flow fitting, I push it in and it just clicks and stays. Whereas on some of my other fittings, you can't just push it in there. You actually have to rock it back, click it in, and then get it to stay. So it's not quite as convenient. Whereas on the Milton fittings, it's a one-handed operation. You don't have to have both hands to be able to click it on, which makes life so much easier when you're under the hood searching for an air tool and you need to be able to click it on. So satisfying. I gotta do it one more time. Oh, it's good. Doing upgrades like these fittings is an inexpensive way to get more performance out of your compressor and out of your air tools. So make sure you check out the guys at Milton Industries, miltonindustry.com. Check the description below for all the part numbers that I used and the different products that I have from Milton already. We'll catch you next time.